Hi, this is Joe DiBiase from AR RF Microwave Instrumentation. I'm here at the IMS show, and this is booth 425. Today I'd like to talk about approaches to use to increase EMC test lab efficiency. This is an important topic because many labs are faced with the requirements to push through a greater number of products while maintaining quality without reducing personnel. So today I'd like to talk about three elements of efficiency. One is test lab, one is equipment, and then the third is turnkey test systems. It's important for test labs to be able to adjust for the largest equipment that can possibly move through their lab. So the process flow for that equipment should be such that you don't interrupt existing testing, or that the equipment has the proper power for that equipment. Another thing to point out in the lab space is, do you have a space that can accommodate multiple testing? This is important because the setup and teardown time can drastically affect the time it takes to perform the testing of that equipment. Moving on into test equipment, I'd like to talk about three factors. Those are speed, multi-purpose, and software. With speed, you can look around for some of the latest equipment, such as AR's multi-tone tester, the MT06002, which can perform radiated and conducted immunity testing using multiple tones. For instance, if you have 2 tones you're testing with, you would reduce the testing in half per the specifications. 4 tones, it would be 1/4 of the testing. So you can see the vast improvement in test time using a device such as this. Another area I'd like to touch on is multi-purpose equipment. The ability to use portions of a system or equipment in other test equipment. This is important in the event that you have, in other areas of the lab, test goes down because of equipment failure, or you have to send equipment out for calibration. We have AR's CI00402 conducted immunity system, which contains a Regal signal generator and spectrum analyzer. This equipment can easily be removed from that system and used elsewhere in the lab. And finally, with equipment, I like to talk about software. Software that you use should be very intuitive for the user, should be easy to train on and understand, and also very flexible. An example of this is AR's EMC ware. This EMC ware has been created by the same engineers over the last several years in conjunction with on-staff EMC engineers. So that collaboration has built a very flexible software package. And thirdly, I'd like to talk about turnkey test systems. The importance of a turnkey test system is simply that you have an outside source or entity, such as AR systems engineering, working in conjunction with your staff engineers, test engineers. This allows your test engineers to do what they do best, and that's work with your customers and test the product. So AR systems engineers work with those engineers to define a specification. The AR systems engineers then go on and purchase the equipment, they assemble the equipment, and they do the installation. This system is fully tested prior to leaving the factory, and these system engineers also go on site and perform training as necessary. So again, the alternate to that is to have your own test engineers do this, and oftentimes they run into problems which can tie up valuable lab space and time for several months. For more information on this topic, don't hesitate to call AR's Applications and Systems Engineers at 215-723-8181. Thank you.